Hi, I'm Emir and this is my Physics 101 final project. My objective is observing the change in the static friction on an inclined plane with two different masses by changing its surface and angle of the inclined plane. Also, I calculate the static friction and do some error analysis at the end. For setting up the system, I used an inclined plane, a ruler, a piece of cloth, and two different masses. For finding angle theta, I measured one side of my triangle as 60 centimeters, and I fixed another ruler perpendicular to the first side of my triangle with 2 centimeters hanging down so that I can find its tangent value. Here's my final system, and this is the formula for the finding angle theta. And these are formulas for static friction. Then we can start with the first experiment. This is 50-gram weight, and I will be slowly increasing the angle of this inclined plane until it's sliding down. I mean the weight. Then let's start. And these are the results from my first experiment. This time I changed the mass with 100 gram instead of 50, and I did the same experiment. Here is my results from the second experiment. In the third experiment, I changed the surface with the help of a piece of cloth, and again I used 50 gram mass and I did the same experiment as 1 and 2. Here is the result of third experiment. In the final experiment, I changed the mass with 100 grams instead of 50 grams, and I did the same experiment as the experiment 3. These are the results of my final experiment. To conclude, my experimental results were quite consistent. There was a small margin of error in the coefficient of friction due to the air resistance, the bumps on the masses, and the uneven friction across the wooden surface. The experiments I did with the cloth were also quite consistent, and for the same reasons, there was a small margin of error in the coefficient of friction.